order. I would ask that we would all silence our cell phones so that our meeting will not be disturbed. We will have a moment of silence, and after which we will be led with our Pledge of Allegiance by two outstanding students from David Perdue Elementary School. We'll call them after we have our moment of silence. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. Please stand. Isabella and Malik, if you will come forward, please, and lead us. Right here. Right here. All right. Go ahead. Go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Thank you all. Let me see it. Thank you. April is recognized globally as Month of the Military Child, in a time of honor to honor youth who are impacted by deployment and other challenges of military life. In our district, approximately 6,000 students are military affiliated, representing about 20% of our total student population. For many years, our district and Robins Air Force Base have partnered to formally recognize this month. Our schools are celebrating the Month of the Military Child in different ways. For example, today, many wore purple in observation of Purple Up Today, and a show of support for our military children. Purple symbolizes all branches of the military services. We have many employees who are personally connected to the military. I myself have retired from the military after 22 years and clearly understand the challenges that many families face. Please stand and be recognized if you are affiliated with the military in some way, whether active duty, veteran, or military dependent. Please stand. Thank you. We appreciate all you and the sacrifice you all have made. Colonel Drew, please come forward to formally recognize the month of the military child. Superintendent Dr. Scott and Colonel Drew are going to sign a joint proclamation. Colonel Drew, would you like to say a few words at this time?
Sure, yes, I do say a few words. Trying to figure out if we sign it, if we talk. Let's sign it first real quick, and we'll do that just so we're good. Sir, you please go ahead. Once again, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to be here at your Board of Education meeting. This is a great privilege, especially as we are here in the month of April, as we celebrate the military student, the military child. You know, just doing some quick math in my head, right now we have at least 6,000 military dependents that are in the Houston County school system. When you multiply that by the 70+ years that we've been in the United States Air Force here at Robins Air Force Base, that's hundreds of thousands of military dependents that have been educated within the school system and have gone on to do amazing things, not just within this community, but certainly around the world. So we are very privileged to be part of this community. We're a city within the city at Robins Air Force Base. We're excited to be part of the school system and allowing our students the opportunity to have the benefit of being educated by some incredible teachers and instructors throughout the system. You know, before we get the opportunity to lead them, you have the privilege to educate them. And so we're very proud to be part of this team. And one thing that I'd like to do, just to cap off as I approach, unfortunately, the end of my time here in Middle Georgia. You know, 2 years goes by fast. I remember just July 2017 coming into Georgia for the very first time and getting to know Dr. Scott, the Board of Education, as we had great success working together to find opportunities for our military families and their children so that they have the opportunity to have the best education based on their unique needs and wants as they develop into future leaders of tomorrow. One of the things that I got involved with while I was here, to include myself, my command chief, my vice, and many others within our wing, is your Fire Starter Fab Lab, which does amazing things to teach people about opportunities to get hobbies that are beyond, and also careers that are so necessary today in the skilled labor trades out in our world. And then one of the offshoots of that was the Against the Grain folks out there, and so I've become a fan of what they do out there. If you follow me on Facebook at all, you can see me there, unfortunately, most weekends, spending my time making signs, right? Who would ever think that would be the thing that you would do here in Middle Georgia? But it's been a pleasure to get to know Matt and Tess out there and what they do to provide unique opportunities in the community to help them get a little crafty with the ideas that they have. And so I thought it only appropriate that as I end my time here and possibly the last time we get an opportunity to be here at the Board of Education, to thank in particular Dr. Scott for his great friendship and his partnership, and provide a sign from something that the team here has created and has become a great benefit to the community, and I consider myself a member of this community, and will have great fond memories of everything that has happened over here. So we try to find a quote that encompasses what you all do here, but also has maybe just a little bit of a military flavor to it. And so what we came up with is that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And so I can tell you from a military standpoint, we take education very seriously, but we know that the thousands of young folks that we have that come in from every section of America have to be educated well so that when we get them into our armed forces, they are excited and motivated and can take their lives to the next level. And so thank you for everything that you do that allows our children to aim high.
All right.
Mr. Chair, if I could just take a moment to
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
say a few words on behalf of the board and our school district. The first time that I heard Colonel Drew, and I think I shared this with him, the first time that I heard him speak when he came to town, the very first thing he talked about was education and workforce development. And I said, we're going to get along. And so we built a great friendship, and I've told everybody in the leadership that I possibly could that we need to let these people stay longer because we work so hard to build these relationships, and unfortunately, the time comes when they have to move on to the next assignment. But we hope deep in our hearts that you have the opportunity one day to come back to Robins Air Force Base and see us. Thank you for your time.
And now we get a chance to meet some great students from some of our schools, as well as teachers and others that our principals have brought with them. So this time we're going to ask David Purdue Elementary Principal, Dr. Andy Payne. If you will stand and introduce your guest, please.
Yes, sir. Members of the board, thank you for having us today. It's always an honor to get to bring a teacher and two of our students that are outstanding, but also this month, which is the month of Military Child. You know, we're blessed at Purdue Elementary to have a large military contingent of students. We do a Veterans Day program in November. We also have an in-flight counselor, and I think it's awesome that our board and the base have come together to have in-flight counselors at some of the school, which is Military Family Life Counselor. Our students benefit from Mr. Ty. He is fantastic, and we love him, so please don't take him away because he's fantastic. But we're blessed today to have some people with us. First of all, I want to introduce Mr. Adam Bryant to you. Mr. Bryant, if you'll stand up. Mr. Bryant is a faculty member at our school. He came to us last year. He started out at Parkwood, and 10 days in, they look at numbers, and he got put over at our school, and he's been a blessing to us. Not only is he a child of a military member, his dad was in the Army, Reserves, and Guard for 39 years. He turned around and became a Marine himself. And so I'm not sure how his dad felt about that, being an Army member, but you talk about education. Here he is, he's now been an educator for 24 years. So he got out of the Marines and he said he wanted to give back, and he's been working with young men and women in North Carolina and here in Georgia, giving back, and he represents everything we stand for. And his classroom is not a boot camp, the students might think it sometimes, but the values and morals he learned in the Marines and that he learned as a child of a military dependent, he pushes on his kids and he teaches them. They have morning meeting time where they talk about it. He wants them to understand there's a bigger picture and how morals and ethics go a long way. So we introduce Mr. Adam Bryant to you today.
All right.
Next we have Miss Leslie Turner. She's our current Teacher of the Year. She actually was hired by Miss Frierson, and she's been 11 years with us at Purdue Elementary School. And when you talk about your teacher who believes in the PLC process, your teacher who's a teacher leader and is helping others grow, that's Miss Turner. She's on our Bulldog Coalition. She is a leader. She goes to multiple PLC conferences with us. She has great feedback, and she's one of those teachers when they come to you and say, hey, I got an idea, I want to talk to you about something, you want to listen, because the respect she's gained from her peers is more than I can give her as an administrator, and she was definitely a great choice to be our Teacher of the Year this year.
All right.
Next, I want to introduce Miss Isabella Escamilla. Isabella is a 5th grade student at our school. We are blessed to have her dad here today, who is a military Air Force here at Robbins Air Force Base. Isabella is a 5th grader. She is very active in our school. She was on the academic bowl with our team. She's part of our Bulldog Voices, which is our chorus at the school. She's a cat lover, but she is also an avid reader. We talk about one of the non-negotiables, and what we want our system to do is read and read better. And she'll read some books 2 or 3 times just for the enjoyment, because you can always get more out of it. But she also is something dear to my heart. She's a Miami Hurricane. And anybody who knows me, that's my team, and so this is a special young lady to me because there's not a lot of us, but she represents what we want to do every day. And then she's also just one of those kids you know is going to give you a smile every day, and if somebody's down, you can turn to her because she's going to lift them up. She encompasses what we want our kids to be every day. So thank you, Isabella. And last, we have Malik Gillespie. This is Malik here. Malik's dad is in the Air Force on the base as well. Malik, I chose him to bring today. Not only is his dad in the military, but Malik understands the bigger picture. Malik is an AAU basketball star, just was named to the All Tournament on the last tournament in Atlanta, I think it was a week ago. He's got some moves. I've seen his basketball film online, right? I mean, he's really good. But Malik understands that the education is going to be what gets him. He wants to go to Duke, but he understands to get there, he's got to have the education. It's not just about basketball. And at Purdue Elementary, we talk about 87.2 graduation rate every single morning on our intercom. When you walk around our building, the kids in our building understand education, graduation starts at their level. Graduation doesn't start when they get to high school, it starts now. When you walk through our building, you see a class of 2026 banner, class of 2027. So about a month or so ago, I was looking on our Twitter page to see who was following us, and I saw Malik followed our school page. I said, let me check Malik's Twitter page out. And underneath your name, you can put a bio. All he said was, class of 2026. Nobody asked him to do it. he sees the bigger picture. He knows he's not a fifth grader. He's a member of the class of 2026, and he knows he's got to graduate high school so that he can go be further at Duke University. We hope one day, if Coach K is watching, we need a scholarship. But he gets the bigger picture, and so does Isabella. They encompass what we talk about our Bulldog pride, and we're blessed to have him here today. And thank you for the opportunity.
From David Perdue Primary Principal, Ms. Leslie Schultz. Please introduce your guests.
Yes, good afternoon, and thank you, board members, for having us today. And I especially enjoy coming this month because I am a military child. My father is a retired military officer, and my mother had many years of service out at Warner Robins Air Force Base. So military is near and dear to my heart. I want to start today by introducing Ms. Teresa Tooten. She is our Teacher of the Year. Ms. Tooten has taught in Houston County for 28 years now. She started over at Pearl Stevens Elementary, and then when Purdue Primary opened up, Teresa joined Ms. Horn over at Purdue Primary, and she has been there ever since. She has been a leader in our building. She was probably, well, I know she was also a leader over when she was at Pearl Stevens Elementary. She's been a literacy coordinator. She was an EIP host teacher when she was in the classroom teaching. She was, let me check my notes here. She was also a member of the Better Seeking team. She's been our school council. She's also been a PTO support from day one. Ms. Tooten, even this morning, conducted our muffins and math with our parents, and then is joining me here this afternoon. So she's a huge support to our teachers, but she's also still in there teaching every day. She's a researcher. She is the kind of teacher that everybody needs to have at their school. So I'm proud to have Ms. Tooten with me today.
All right.
Next, I have Miss Nicole Spomer. Her husband is Staff Sergeant Spomer. He was deployed just last year, and now he's getting ready to go to Qatar again at the end of the month. So we are so proud of Ms. Spomer for carrying on even when her husband is gone, because that's the role of a military wife. But you would never know it at school because she's 100%. She is all in all of the time. She has a young daughter named Emma who's 1, and even having a busy little one at home at school, she is in charge of math in our 2nd grade. She also, as we have taken on the MAPS growth assessment, she has dug in and done that research and is helping our teachers to get the most of it and help our instruction. So I'm proud to have Ms. Spomer with us this afternoon. All right, y'all ready, Justina? All right, next I'm going to introduce my team. This is Daxton and Waveland Lesack. Their dad is Major Lesack out at the base. He is a navigator for J-Stars. We are so excited to have them. They have had a busy military life. They have traveled. They have lived in Connecticut, Illinois, Florida, and now they're in Georgia. But we are so lucky that the military has allowed them to stay with us because they've been here since pre-K. So I was just introducing them to Dr. Payne, and hopefully they will stay a few more years and he'll get to experience them at his school. They are both leaders academically in my building. They are in the GTE classroom. Daxton is a math lover and a math whiz. He also loves to read about sharks. He thinks one day when he grows up that he may not be in the military, but he may study sharks and do good work there. Waveland is an avid reader. She loves to read, and of course, her favorite subject at school is when we get to talk about literacy, and her favorite thing is talking to her friends about the books that she's reading. As we were talking about school, they said that every year at Purdue Primary that they have loved it, but this year they are in Miss Hardy's gifted classroom, and they have been doing a lot of engineering projects and doing a lot with robotics. And in I think about 2 weeks, they'll be going out to the Aviation Museum and flying the simulators. And so they're real excited about that. I'm excited to have students like this in our building, and thank the military for allowing us to educate them and continue to watch them grow. Thank you very much.
From Sidney Watson Primary Principal, Ms. Alicia Connor, if you will introduce your guest.
Good afternoon. My first guest is Tammy Carimoto. She is our Teacher of the Year. Tammy was born on the island of Maui in Hawaii. I try to say it just like she does, but I can't. After high school, she moved to Colorado to attend the University of Northern Colorado, where she earned a bachelor's degree in elementary education with an emphasis in English as a second language. She's also our ESOL teacher. After college, she moved to Denver, where she began her teaching career and completed her master's degree in technology, so she's very talented in all areas. In 2013, these are her words, she became very fortunate to be a part of the C.B. Watson family, and she was a member of the Houston County Leadership Development Program, and because of that, she has decided to go on and earn her leadership degree, so she's applying for college right now to be a leader in our school. She's a PBIS district leadership team. She serves on that, and she is also our PBIS coach, and this year was our full-fledged year, but last year was our pilot year, and under her charge, we went from a score of 3 in the Climate Star rating to a score of 5, and I attribute it to her leadership within the school. She has a very positive impact on students, parents, and our teachers. Thank you, Ms. Carimoto, our Teacher of the Year. And my next guest is Amanda Crowder. She is a military wife. Ms. Crowder moved to Houston County at the age of 7, and she graduated from Perry High School in 1993. She married her husband, Jason, and they were stationed in Anchorage, Alaska. He is in the Air Force. They retired after his service of 20 years, and I say they retired because, you know, as a military spouse, you have to travel around with your husband or wife. They've lived in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, Valdosta, Georgia, San Jose, California, and Alexandria, Louisiana. After he retired and served in the military, they decided to move back home. So she has been in Perry, Georgia, where she's retired close to her family, or her husband has, and she became a teacher at Linwood Elementary, and she's been teaching in Houston County for 7 years. She's a kindergarten teacher at C.B. Watson Primary. They have 2 children, Faith, a freshman at Middle Georgia State University, and Griffin, a sophomore at Perry High School. Ms. Carter also serves on our PBIS team, and she has the title of communicator. She makes sure that everyone in our school knows all the ins and outs about PBIS, and we all know things about PBIS. So we're becoming experts in PBIS because of these 2 ladies right here. They're definitely leaders in my building. Miss Amanda Crowder, our military wife. All right, my next guest is Michaela Douglas. See Michaela? Michaela is a 2nd grade student at C.B. Watson. She was born on January the 11th. She and my mom have the same birthday, so that's a little known fact for her. She was born in Tucson, Arizona. She moved to Warner Robins in 2014 when her dad retired from the U.S. Air Force. Michaela's entire school career has been at C.B. Watson Primary. She started off as a pre-K student. She is now in 2nd grade. Michaela is a member of our News Class Club, our Lego Club, and our Bucket Warriors, where they just played the drums on buckets at the mall not too long ago. So they did a little Beatles tribute, and it was awesome. She's learning the violin, and she's a member of the String of Pearls with our sister school, Pearl Stevens Elementary, and she's the only C.B. Watson student that is a member of our String of Pearls over there playing the violin at Pearl Stevens. Michaela has 2 older sisters and a hermit crab named Miranda. Michaela Douglas. All right, and my next guest is Alex Michaels. Alex was born on May 11th in Okinawa, Japan. His father is Alan Michaels. He's an active duty master sergeant in the United States Air Force, and his mother is a Japanese national. Alex has a baby sister named Akina. He has dual citizenship here in Japan, and he's also bilingual along with his 5-year-old sister. At 6 months, I think he's traveled more than many adults here. Let's see. At 6 months, he moved to England until the age of 3. Then he got to travel to Scotland, Belgium, France, and Germany, and he was even able to see Stonehenge. I know that's a goal for many people. In 2014, he moved to St. Louis, and he was stationed at Scott Air Force Base. At Scott Elementary, he was Student of the Month twice in 1 year, so awesome job to that. Let's see. He's been able to go to Japan, and 1 year he went 3 times that year, and he went to school with his cousins. So that was an awesome experience for him. He's been here since August of 2018, and he's a C.B. Watt Senior in 2nd grade. His hobbies include all things Pokemon and riding his bike. He loves to read, and his favorite things to read are Pokemon, Captain Underpants, and Dogman. Alex Michaels, our military child.
From Lake Joy Primary Principal, excuse me, Dr. April Strivick, if you will introduce your guest, please.
Good afternoon. We are very excited to be here from Lake Joy Primary. I'm going to introduce my guest. At first I have Miss Rachel Dozier. She is our Teacher of the Year. She came to us about 4 years ago, and she is a pre-K teacher and one of the leaders on their team. We have 4 teachers usually in pre-K. This year we went to 5, and I'll tell you about that in a minute, and we're going to 6, so she is a leader on that team. We also have students who have been with her. She has lots of people who want to be in her class again if they have brothers and sisters. She's compassionate, loving, smiling. She's an outdoorsman. She lives on a farm. She shares lots of things with her children, and she has assisted with our dance team when we've had people out on maternity leave, and in a crunch, she's always there to step in. We've also had her serve on our leadership team on subcommittees where we're doing things for fellowship and different things to build morale in our building, and she's just always there. She's known as the leader in our building. She's a quiet and calm force. She's a very quiet person, but she has lots of knowledge in there, and so we wanted to recognize her, and she is our Teacher of the Year. One of the people that she has been mentoring is our next teacher, Miss Emily Reimers. She is our 5th pre-K teacher who came new this year, and we're moving to 6th. She became a military spouse last May. She moved to Georgia in July and became a Lake Joy Primary Line in July. And so she has come all the way here from Minnesota, so the military has given her some different experiences because we're not very much like Minnesota. So she is experiencing that. She is a great and awesome teacher with us. She is very energetic and passionate. She dresses up like Miss Frizzle in different activities for her students, and so she's getting lots of experiences, and she's very creative, and we just wanted to welcome her as one of our great military spouses. This is Miss Adeline Daniels. She is one of our seniors at Lake Joy Primary. She is a 2nd grader. She's been with us for 3 years. She is in our dance team. She's in our running club, which has over 100 members. She is the current Little Miss Dogwood 2019, and she will have some of those activities going on this weekend. She's the former Little Miss Pig Jig. She also is a military child, and she has done lots of things with her military family. Her favorite subject is math. We went out to lunch. She was excited for lunch because they got to pick the restaurant, but they were a little disappointed they missed math. And so she did say that she would like most as a grown-up to become an awesome mom, because her awesome mom is here who also serves on our school council, so she has a great role model there. So we want to recognize Miss Adeline. She's always recognized for our principal parties and great behavior, and she's just an all-around great student.
All right.
And Mr. Christian Lee, stand up. He is a 4-year senior with us. He's been here with us from pre-K, and he was actually in Miss Dozier's class, so he had an outstanding teacher starting out. He is in our Lego club, our running club. He's in our GTE class. He's been there for 2 years doing a lot of STEM activities and learning a lot of things, and that is leading him to want to be an engineer. And so he's very excited about that. He likes math, but he also likes a lot of reading, and he's excited about that. And his dad is here in the Air Force as well. And so we just want to recognize him because he's an overall around great student, recognized for his behavior and everything he does at Lake Joy Primary. Thank you.
This is a special time here when we have a chance to recognize what we're striving for, and that is our students become high achievers, and you're going to see some great examples of that at this time. Both Veteran High and Perry High students won special GASA state wrestling individual awards to include 2 state championships. Will began with veterans. 9 veteran high school students won awards at the 5A tournament. Junior Francis Morrissey brought home the state championship for the 2nd consecutive year. Coach Derek Martin, please come forward with Francis and introduce him to us and tell us what you want us to know about it.
So Francis is at the last 2 years, he's had a phenomenal wrestling career with veterans. In the last 2 years, his record is 125-0. Been undefeated 2 years in a row. He's also nationally ranked number 11 wrestler at 150 pounds in the nation. So his accomplishments that he athletic from are incredible. He's also a good student athlete and a good student as far as academically. Does very well. He strives additionally to wrestle in college and further his education.
And now we'd like to recognize Perry High, a freshman. Austin Field is one of the 4 Perry High students to win an award at the state wrestling tournament. Austin won the 4A state championship in his weight class. Coach Randy Moss, please come forward with Austin and tell us about this young man and all his success.
Okay, first before I start talking about Austin, I would like to recognize Mr. Dale Martin for all of his support. Anything you need, the door's always open. He's there for us, and I really want to thank him for that. Next up, I would like to thank 2 board members on top of their everyday job and being a board member, which is a busy job right there. They come out and help me every chance they get. First, I'd like to start out with Coach David Crockett. He's like the Michael Glover of Perry High School wrestling. He does all the announcing for us. We go to several tournaments throughout the year, and it's just one call, and Coach Crockett is always there to help us out. I appreciate that, Coach. Next up is Hope Morrow right here. Been knowing him all my life. He's always been there for me whenever I came down here to Perry, and and Little Hope was a 9th grader. He became a community coach, and he's been involved with our program ever since. Whenever Little Hope graduated, Abby was there. She was a Mac girl. That was his daughter. And then whenever she graduated, he said, "You got to fire him now." I said, "No, I'm not. I'm not going to fire him. I'm going to keep you around as long as I can." But I appreciate that. I would like to thank Amanda Till, his mom. In wrestling, of course, just like anything else, you have to put a lot of time and effort in this. It takes an extraordinary effort to get to this level. And without his parents spending the time, the money, traveling the state during the off-season, I'm not sure that this young man could have done what he did as a 9th grader. And last, but certainly not least, right here, Coach Evan Jones. He's my assistant wrestling coach. He was a Perry High School graduate back in 2007. He started out teaching career at Warner Robins High School, and we eventually stole him from Warner Robins High School. We're very thankful for that. Phenomenal coach, and he was great with kids. Now let's talk about Austin a little bit. Austin, on the coaching side, I've been doing this for a long time, 25 years. He's my first ever state champion. Being a state champion in wrestling is very difficult. You have to put in the time. You have to put in the money during the offseason, and you just have to love the sport. And for this kid to do what he did as a 9th grader is phenomenal. He started out the season late. He broke his leg prior to the season. Well, that's a whole nother story. But so he was unable to start wrestling until January. And his overall record this year was 29-0. Of course, state champion as a 9th grader. He's just a phenomenal kid. First time I ever met him, we were at a jiu-jitsu thing, and he was 4th or 5th grade, and I invited his parents to come out and see what we do. And he was a 4th, 5th grader. He just get over there in the corner, and he's just, just rolling around trying to do what we do. But he has really spent the time. I'm very excited about this young man. He's a 9th grader. Ford got a possibility of a 4-time right here. He's got to stay focused. I'm very excited about Austin. Austin Taylor, number 6 pound state champion.
Governor's Honors Program finalists were recently announced by the Governor's Office of Student Achievement. Our district has 10 exceptional 10th and 11th graders who were selected as finalists and one as an alternate. Governor's Honors is a 4-week summer residential program which provides students with academic, cultural, and social enrichment. More than 3,200 students from across Georgia are nominated, and only about 670 were chosen to attend. The program will be held June 16th through July 13th at Barron College in Rome, Georgia. Administrators, as I call your name, please come forward with your students and your school. First of all, we're going to ask Houston County High if you will come forward, please, with your students. You will introduce your students and tell us their accomplishments.
Guys, I want you to introduce yourselves.
I'm Lauren and I was nominated for award. Good afternoon, my name is Brittany Lee and I was nominated for engineering and mechanical design. My name is Alicia Rowland. I was nominated for civil studies.
My name is Jack Rushman. I got 50 nominated for math.
Hello, I'm Jackson Riddle. I was nominated for theater performance.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, I'm Amy Barber, principal of Veterans High School. And I'd like to say we had 8 students make it to semifinals, and we had 4 that were selected. Ethan Dorr was selected for vocal music, Issa Shaw in science, Colleen Gibbons in communicative arts, and Gabby Chowder in dance. I also want to take a moment to identify Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson has worked in the GHP program for several years. He's definitely an advocate and proponent of this program. As a result, I think he does a great job of recruiting our kids, but also preparing them very well. He sells the program big time. He's a believer, he's a disciple, and he does a lot to prepare our kids. I know he works a great deal with Ms. Jacobson to try to help us as a county get as many students as possible. So I'm very excited that we have this opportunity and thankful for Mr. Thompson has worked with them.
Now we'll have Monroe Robbins High School.
We're excited to be here this afternoon. Kristen Principal for Robbins High School. And I have with me one of our phenomenal sophomores, Ms. Paradise Zahiri. She's going to Governor's Honor in the area of social studies. She's also our family club president and cricket club vice president. We're excited about Paradise Zahiri.
And to all of our students, before you leave today, before you leave today, please see the Director of Physical Education. Thank you very much for that. Parent high school students who are members of the Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America chapter competed at the state in March of this year. All 22 of the parent students won either first or second place in their category at the Georgia FCCLA State Leadership Conference. All of these students now advance to national, which will be held this summer in Anaheim, California. Their advisors are Connor Bumstead, thank you, and Ms. Crystal Quick. Ladies, please come forward with your students. Please talk about their
We
happened, the agenda, the approved minutes, and all the different reports and stuff. It's not an easy task. They have to take an exam, an online exam. That's part of their score, as well as conducting the meeting the correct way using Robert's Rules of Order. It's very boring to us general people, but we're really excited about it. We really like it. So all you guys back here, we'll be watching y'all. So they both scored first place in their competition, so we will all be going to. I do want to say thank you to Mr. McDermott for always being there for us and supporting us in every way and giving us some money so we can go. Yay. As always, to Mr. Martin. Oh, there it is, news like Coach Moss said, his door is always open, anything and everything that we need, want, desire. He does his absolute best to get it for us. And of course, my co-worker, my co-partner, Brian. Good to do it without you. Sorry. Y'all know how to do this. It's not your first rodeo.
Thank you. State Technology Bowl winners from Houston County High School. The Houston County High School State Technology Students Association members competed in 19 events at TSA State Leadership Conference held recently in Athens. Houston County students placed in the top 10 in the state and 9 events to include a first place award in the Technology Bowl. A team consisting of Hayden Merrill, Christopher Satia, and Avery Sawyer won this top state award. With the TSA sponsors, Ms. Amy Jackson, please come forward with your students. Please have your students introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Chris Satia. I'm Hayden Merrill. I'm Avery Sawyer.
So I learned a lot about the quiz bowl today. We had a lot of questions. We all went out to lunch and had our own little discussion down there at the table. I was happy to get some of the questions that they had asked right. Felt pretty good about that. But they did very well. One thing I thought that they shared with me that was interesting is going into this, there's what did you say, an aptitude test, or was it kind of the scores? There was online testing that was given, and actually they were ranked as one of the lower groups going in and won the whole thing because they work very well together. And actually, when you talk to them, it's interesting because you've got an expert in one area, an expert in one area, and then kind of a mixture of several experts. So I thought that was really good, but we enjoyed ourselves today. Good job, guys.
Okay, next on the agenda will be to adopt the agenda. Ms. Hughes.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Second. It's been motioned and second that we adopt the agenda as presented. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you very much. To approve the minutes from the previous meeting, Ms. Hughes.
Yes, I also would like to make a motion to approve the minutes from our previous meeting.
Second.
It's been motioned and second that we approve the minutes from the previous meeting. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you. At this time on our agenda, we have board member comments, and we as a board would like to do something a little bit special this time for our military children. As you have already been introduced, this is the month of the military child, so we as a board would like to present a token to all of our military children, that is whether your parents are active duty, reserve, guard, retired, etc. We are going to ask you to stand after Ms. Lori Johnson reads a comment about the military brat. So if you will do that for us now, then we will get all the students to stand.
Sure. So I was a little hesitant to recognize our military children as military brats because outside of the military, the word brat kind of has a derogatory meaning. So it made me wonder and do a little bit of research. So for you guys that aren't military families, maybe you'll learn something along with myself. So the term military brat actually started in Britain with the British Army. It explained that brat as a status standing for British Regiment Attached Traveler, and it was assigned to families who were able to travel abroad with a soldier. Eventually, it just referred to military children, but the term stuck and was adopted in many places around the world, including the U.S. I also did some research and found that the word military brat is actually not derogatory at all, but brats wear the name like a badge of honor, often because of the moves, the stressors, and cultural experiences that make them more resilient than their civilian counterparts. And I would also like to say that, and I can say this because I'm the mom, but I raised a brat who has now made me the proud mom of a Marine. So there you go. We'd like to honor all of our military brats. If you guys would come up.
Please stand, and we'll just present you a token here. All of our military students, can you get all here? Please stand if you're military, brand military student. I'll be glad to hear you. Your parents are in the military. Your parents in the military. We have Fred. You were okay. Any other? We want to make sure everyone gets one. Okay, thank you all very much. We're very proud of you all. Okay, thank you. Now we will have our superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to share a few more accomplishments throughout our school district. The Houston County Career Academy students in our Fine Furniture program brought home first place gold medal from the Skills USA Georgia competition held March 21st through 23rd in Atlanta. The winning team consists of Bryce Batwell of Veterans High and Chase Waters of Houston County High. Next, they competed in the Nationals in Louisville, Kentucky. The HCCA also had a student in the HVAC program who placed third at state, Dominique Jorger of Veterans High was awarded a $6,000 scholarship to the University of Northwestern Ohio. Veterans High also had a student who won first place at state in the Skills USA Customer Service Contest. Morgan Richardson won the top award and also advanced to the national competition in Louisville. We're very proud of these students and their accomplishments. Our Houston County Flying Legion robotics team also competed on April the 4th through the 6th at the state first robotics competition. The team qualified for an alternate position to compete at the World Contest, which will be held in Houston, Texas, April the 16th through the 21st. This team consists of high school students from across our district who met for months on weekends and after school to build their robots and to prepare for the events. Congratulations to our students and to our team advisor, Mr. Tom Stahl of Northside High, and Ms. Adrian Cloud with the Houston County Career Academy. So congratulations to our robotics team. Earlier this month, Dr. Payne and I had the pleasure of attending the Star Student Region Banquet, and we're pleased that our Houston County High student, Tian Tran, was named the region winner from among 19 school districts. He now advances to the state, which will be announced on April the 29th, so we're looking forward to that, and I want to say congratulations to him and his star teacher, Miss Laura Bird, who I believe has been like star teacher 10 times or 11 times or something, 10 times. That's pretty awesome to be there 10 times. Northside Elementary School placed second out of 27 teams in the Regional Middle Georgia RESA Elementary School Science Olympiad Tournament on March the 16th. And that qualifies them to participate in the Georgia State Elementary Science Olympiad, which will be held for the 4th year in a row in May in Atlanta, and they've been in that competition each of those years. We have begun end-of-the-year testing this school year. Georgia Milestones in the grade exams for grades 3 through 8 began this week, and they will continue through April the 26th. The Milestones end of course for all your high school students here, they will begin on April 22nd and end on May 10th. I know you're excited about that. And AP exams will be administered May 6th through the 17th, and I'm confident all our students are prepared and they'll do a great job with that. There are many special dates and events coming up throughout the month of April and May. This coming Monday, April the 15th, we'll have a groundbreaking ceremony for the Warner Robins High School competition gym, and then the following week, on April the 24th, we'll have another groundbreaking, this time for Northside High School's competition gym. On May the 2nd, Hilltop Elementary School will be honored as a military flagship school by State School Superintendent Richard Woods. In addition to celebrating Month of the Military Child during April, this month also observes Autism Awareness Month and Occupational Therapy. Other special dates this week is National Library Week and National Volunteer Week. April the 24th is Administrative Professionals Day. May 6th through the 10th is Appreciation Day, with May 7th being designated as the National Teacher Appreciation Day. May 6th is our School Nutrition Day, and May 7th we'll honor our retirees at our retirement banquet that night. And then on May 8th we'll celebrate School Nurse Appreciation Day. May 13th through 17th is National Police Week for our school resource officers, and most important, on May the 24th and 25th we will have graduation ceremonies at the Ag Center. So with that, I say that congratulations to all of our students, and as we kind of get into this sprint to the end of the year, I remind you to just work hard and do your very best, and look forward to great things to come from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Scott. Department reports was reviewed last night, and there were no issues with that at all, so no action is required. Under new business, financial report. Dave.
Sir. Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the February 2019 financial reports as presented last evening.
Second. It has been moved and seconded that we approve the February 2019 financial report as presented. All in favor of the motion, please show your right hand. Thank you very much. Our purchasing report. Brian.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve as presented the 2019 various purchases. The total financial impact is $1,163,728.
Second.
It has been motioned and seconded that we approve the April 2019 purchasing report as presented in the dollar amount that was presented to us. All in favor of the motion, please show your right hand. Thank you. The approval of the award for the RFP 19033 for uniforms. Rick.
Mr. Chairman, yes, I'd like to make a motion that we approve to award RFP 19-033 for uniforms to Centus Corporation for fiscal year 2020 at a financial impact of approximately $63,000.
Second. It has been motioned and seconded that we approve the award of the RFP for 19033 for uniform at the amount of $63,000 All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you. For the Flint EMC wire, Hoke.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the recommendation for the easement to move for Flint Energies or Flint EMC to move the guy wire and support pole away from the bus drive at Warner Robins Middle School.
Second.
It has been motioned and second that we approve the Flint EMC guy wire, anchor, and sub-pole right-of-way easement from Warner Robins Middle School. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you. For Flint EMC underground right-of-way easement. Lori.
Yes, sir. I'd like to make a motion to approve the recommendation for the Flint EMC underground right-of-way easement at Northside High School.
Second.
It has been motioned and second that we approve the Flint EMC underground right-of-way easement at Northside High School. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you. Parish Construction Amendment 12. Helen.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Parish Construction Amendment 12 for the new elementary school number 12. And it's a land clearing project at a financial impact of $195,410 from the East Floss funds from 2017.
Second.
It has been motioned and second that we approve Parish Construction Amendment 12 for the new elementary school number 12, which is a land clearing project for a dollar amount of $195,410. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you very much. Central Registration Parking Addition and Site Improvement. Hope.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I might like to make a recommendation that we award the Central Registration Parking Addition and Site Improvements bid to LeKay Enterprises. Financial impact not to exceed $286,216.35.
Second.
It has been motioned and second that we approve the Central Registration Parking Addition and Site Improvement as presented. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you. Parking and Parent Drive Upgrade. Brian.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve as presented the parking and Parent Drive upgrades for Lake Joy Primary, Shirley Hills, Russell, and Westside Elementaries. The total financial impact is not to exceed $1,768,345.
Second.
It has been motioned and second that we approve the parking and Parent Drive upgrades for the schools as presented in the amount that was presented, not to exceed that amount. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you. The personnel report. Rick.
Yes, sir. I'd like to make a motion to approve the personnel reports as presented.
Second.
It has been motioned and second that we approve the personnel report for April 2019 that was presented on last evening as presented to us. All in favor of the motion, please show a right hand. Thank you very much. We also have some individual personnel actions that we reviewed last night. First, I'll start with Dave, if you will give us number one.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the superintendent's recommendation for Ms. Dana Wiggins for the position of principal at Quail Run Elementary.
Second.
It has been motioned and second that we approve the superintendent's recommendation to appoint Ms. Dana Wiggins for the position of principal at Quail Run Elementary. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you very much. Number two, Lori.
Yes, sir. I'd like to make a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation of Mr. Ronald Scott Wynn for the position of principal at Thompson Middle School.
Second.
It has been motioned and second that we approve the superintendent's recommendation to appoint Mr. Ronald Scott Wynn for the position of principal at Thompson Middle School. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you very much. And the last one, number three, Helen.
Yes, I move that we approve the superintendent's recommendation of Mrs. Katrina Fort for the position of assistant principal for instruction at Houston County High School.
Second.
Second.
It has been motioned and second that we approve the superintendent's recommendation to appoint Ms. Katrina Fort for the position of assistant principal for instructions at Houston County High School. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you very much. Those are all the individual recommendations for personnel action. And next on the report will be the GSB Exemplary Board application. Dave.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve as presented the GSBA Exemplary Board application.
Second.
It has been motioned and second that we approve the Georgia School Board Association Exemplary Board application for the Houston County School System. All in favor of the motion, please show your right hand. Thank you very much. The GSBA delegate and alternate appointment. Helen.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move that we appoint Mr. Dave Crockett as our delegate for the GSBA conference in Savannah on June 7th, and that Lori Johnson will serve as the alternate.
Second.
It has been motioned and second that we approve the delegates appointed as primary and alternate, Dave Crockett as the primary and Lori Johnson as the alternate for June delegate assembly. All in favor of the motion, please show your right hand. Thank you very much. And lastly, on the items to approve will be the revised policy of GAD. Excuse me.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a recommendation that we approve the superintendent's recommendation for the revised policy of GAD. This policy removes the annual requirement of 20 hours of professional learning. Through our PLC, certified personnel are provided extensive ongoing opportunities to participate in job-embedded professional learning.
Second. It has been motioned and second that we approve the revision to policy GAD, which deals with professional development opportunities. All in favor of the motion, please show your right hand. Thank you very much. And lastly, we had a student matter that we need to take action on, and we're going to ask Hoke if you will make that motion, please.
Yes, sir. I'd like to make a motion to support the denial of student KP's request out of county.
Okay.
Second.
Enrollment from out of county.
Second.
It has been motioned and second that we support the superintendent's recommendation to confirm the denial of the out of county for student KP. All in favor of the motion, please show right hand. Thank you very much. Those are all the action items on our agenda. First of all, thank you all, everyone. Thank you, and again to our military students, thank you for enduring. I'd like to make a personal comment to say my two children came here to Houston County, enrolled in the school system, became a part of the school system, and graduated and are doing very well. So you have great things to look forward to even more, and we thank you for your endurance. Thank you, parents. Thank you, everyone. Our meeting is, we need a motion to adjourn. Second. It has been motioned and second that our meeting be adjourned. All in favor of the motion, please show your right hand. Thank you very much. We are adjourned.